Members of Congress are weighing in on the case of a Washington State football coach under fire for praying after games. Tuesday, Virginia Congressman Randy Forbes and Oklahoma Senator James Lankford led 47 members of Congress in a letter to the Bremerton School District in support of Coach Joe Kennedy. The school board has told the coach if he doesn't stop praying after games, he could be fired. The coach says that would be a violation of his religious freedom. Joining me now with more on this case is Liberty Institute's Jerry Dice. Jerry, first of all, your reaction to the letter from the members of Congress.
Well, it's awful good to have the support of friends in high places that also see the value in protecting the religious liberty of both our students and our teachers as well.
Indeed. Well, the school district says that they are merely abiding by the law, stating that the coaching staff is not allowed to pray with students while on duty. What does that say about the law?
Well, I think it misunderstands the law. The Supreme Court said many years ago that teachers do not shed their constitutional rights when they walk through the schoolhouse gates. And so for the school to demand that this coach, who's a good man, who has honorably served his country and faithfully serves his students, to say that this coach must run away screaming when the players come near him if he's even hinting at the thought of praying or exhibiting any other type of religious action is just simply ridiculous. And this school should back down and do the right thing here and allow Coach Kennedy to continue to exercise his religious liberty even when he's at school.
Well, the coach is forbidden from bowing his head, taking a knee, or doing anything that might be considered religious. How does that line up with Coach Kennedy's First Amendment rights?
Well, it's a gross violation of the law. This same opinion would prevent a Jewish teacher from wearing a yarmulke. It would prevent anyone from wearing a cross around their neck or perhaps even saying God bless you when someone sneezes in their classroom. I think the American public is just fed up with this overreaction to any time anybody is religious in this country. That's not what the Founding Fathers had in mind. The Founding Fathers instituted a religious liberty that would protect every citizen's right to engage their religion everywhere. And we don't need to be burdened down by being afraid that we have paused our eyes too long on a blink for fear that we might be praying and therefore meriting a lawsuit. That's not religious liberty. Religious liberty means that we get to exercise our religion at home, in the public, and even at work.
Absolutely. Well, this is obviously something that the coach has been doing since 2008. How are the students handling this now?
It's been interesting to watch the development after this because in 2008, when Coach Kennedy first watched Facing the Giants and saw a coach there do something similar, he came under the conviction that he needed to start doing this as well as a football coach. And so he did, just by himself, went out to the 50-yard line, took a knee and prayed. And pretty soon the students took notice because young men follow good men. And they said, "Hey, coach, can we join you? What are you doing?" And he said, "Look, I'm just praying and thanking God for you guys. It's a free country. Do as you want." And now fast forward these years, the school district is telling these young men that what he's doing is not part of what a free country does. That's wrong. And if you go to libertyinstitute.org, you can read many more cases like this, including how students and teachers are able to exercise their religious liberty at school.
Amazing. Well, Coach Joe never asked students to pray with him. So why do you think this is becoming an issue?
Well, look, we've had the false information being beat on the drum for almost half a century now that there is this supposed separation of church and state, and it's got people scared to death of the next lawsuit. But the reality is that we'd be satisfied if Bremerton High School was merely neutral towards the issue of religion and the free exercise thereof. But right now, the school district is actually being hostile towards religious liberty. They've denied a request at a reasonable accommodation of the coach's efforts here. And so I think right now we're left with very little choice but to apply the law to them.
Amazing. Well, Superintendent Randy Dorn has implied that Coach Joe isn't a good role model for students. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think it speaks for itself when someone is criticizing another person for simply exercising their belief to call them names and to say, in fact, that he's a poor role model. Look, young men follow good men, and Coach Kennedy is a good man. He served our country in the Marine Corps honorably, has fought and willingly defended the Constitution that he is now accused of breaking. That's silly. And we ought to allow Coach Kennedy, as well as other teachers and students across this country, to be able to exercise their religious liberty, even at work.
And what is Coach Joe planning to do this Friday night?
I think unless something were to drastically change, Coach Kennedy intends to do what he's always done, which is to walk humbly to the 50-yard line, whether the team has won or the team has lost, take a knee and bow his head in prayer and thanksgiving. The First Amendment protects his right to do that. And Title VII of the U.S. law prevents the school district from firing him or taking any other disciplinary action against him, as they have now threatened if he were to do so.
Jerry Dice, thank you so much for your help and for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you.